Good morning. 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 Welcome. Come on in the room. Good morning. 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 Welcome. 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 Come on into the room, to this sacred space. Welcome into this space. Ashe. Ashe. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, 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 welcome. Good morning, Carmen and Jessica and Shayla and Franita. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, Quell. I'll see you next week. Good morning. Good morning to my YouTube community. Uh-oh, let's see what's going on. Just a minute. I'm not able to see them right now. Hold on. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me see what's happening. Good morning. Come on in the room. Tag a friend, tag someone that you don't see. Let them know we are here. All right. Hey, Rihanna. Hey, Kanita. Good, 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 good. It's good morning. Good morning. Just wanted to make sure that you all were here, and you are. Good morning. Hey, people. Hey, 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 hey. Welcome, 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 welcome. Good morning. I am the Reverend Dr. Melva L. Sampson. I am the curator, the digital griot for this sacred gathering, this blessed community of truth seekers, of wisdom bearers. We believe and we trust Black women. We trust the folk. We are decidedly African-centered Christian beings. We speak from that center, and while we invite and are inclusive, we speak from that center and welcome all who are ready to learn, who are ready to fully engage. Welcome to this space, Ashe. We welcome you. I am accompanied on this journey by those who do the work alongside, by those who are present. So we shout out our Digi Deacons, Natasha Robinson, Carmen Yanak, and Yanak. I'm sorry, Carmen. I put an extra syllable in there. And to all those who are working with them, shout out to them. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, 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 welcome in to this space. Ashe, to Dr. Sonia. Good morning to Jessica and to Dana. Good morning to Juana and Lady and Glency. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And to Nia, who is also a DigiDeacon, E.I. Renee and Carla. Good morning, good morning. Donna Otis, good morning, good morning. Good morning to all of you. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. I do, before we get started, I have a few announcements. Natasha. I'm doing my Natasha Robinson. Got my glasses, got my hair cut low. Ashe. I'm about to talk about that in a minute. Good morning. A few announcements. On October 16th, Sunday, October 16th at our normal time, Our very own community member, the NAP in AP, the NAP Bishop herself, the founder of the NAP in AP ministry, the creator of the idea of rest is resistance, will be with our community on October 16th. It's been a week. If you've seen my Facebook posting, you know that it's been a week. Anyway, Trisha Hersey will be with us. She is the author of this new text, Rest is Resistance, a Manifesto. Rest is Resistance, a Manifesto. So for those of you who can, I'd love for you to order it now. I believe today it comes out. Does this come out today or the 4th? At any rate, I want you to go ahead and order it if it's out. If it's not out, then I will provide the context for us. But she will be on with us as we will be diving into her text. What a beautiful, beautiful opportunity again on Sunday, October 16th at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 a.m. Tag her for me, please, Natasha. I think she might be on Facebook as Trisha Hersey Patrick. Trisha, it's a tongue tie. Trisha Hersey Patrick on Facebook. So we will be engaging this beautiful text that many of us have been waiting for. She has some great endorsements. Nikki Giovanni endorsed the text, which says, "Sometimes the window is open and a breeze comes through singing a sweet song. It is nap time. Grandmother sits on the front porch. Grandpapa cuts the grass. It is a song you nap. I nap. The angels hug us. A book settles beside us. Rest is resistance. It is a war we will win." Ashe. Those are words from poet Nikki Giovanni. These are just some of the endorsements on the back of the book that I'm reading. My friend and colleague, Dr. Greg C. Ellison says, quote, "A lullaby of liberation. Once you open this book, prepare to breathe more deeply and come to see the world more clearly." So we will be engaging this text. I'm super excited. I'm super excited. I'm just going to read the first page. Y'all have another announcement, but I'm just going to read the first page to y'all. Rest saved my life. That is my truth. I don't need anyone else to verify this, nor do I need complicated theories to support what I know to be true in my heart, my body, and my spirit. My pilgrimage with rest as a form of resistance and liberation practice is a deeply personal one. It is one that started way before anyone heard of the NAP ministry on social media. Resting was my attempt to solve a problem in my life. And like most Black women before me, I worked within the realm of my own life and history to create a way. While in a brutally busy graduate program with financial issues, family illness, and the threat of racial violence always swirling around, I started to experiment with rest. My commitment to rest as a form of resistance came from my everyday experiences of being a part of the machine level pace of our culture and surviving the trauma of the terror of poverty, exhaustion, white supremacy, and capitalism. I took to napping all over campus while in seminary and when I was home. I believed deeply that I would rest because I was exhausted physically and spiritually, and I saw no other way to make it. I was beyond rational thought about whether I would be able to thrive from this and simply leaped without a net. Ashe. That was the first page. The book is available on October 11th. Ashe. That was the first page. I'm probably going to keep going in a second, because I want you to get the book, and so that we can be ready to engage our NAP bishop with all kinds of beautiful questions. The second announcement, I was trying to upload a memorial graphic, but that wasn't working either. We want to offer condolences to our community member, Candace Bimbo, on the departure, the transition of her grandmother, Mrs. Helen N.J. Bimbo. Now, what you all don't know is that Miss Helen, Grandma Helen, was a real member of this Pink Robe Chronicles community, Ashe, for real, for real. She she watched. Sometimes she watched live, but most times she watched after the broadcast would already launch. When she saw me around the city, the few times that we saw each other at Candace's book signing, she would say, "There go that Pink Road pastor right there." She was a part of this community. She would contact Candace and ask about me if she hadn't seen me. At one point, when she was in the hospital, at one time, Derek and I went to go visit her. I told you all, though we are online, friends, we are absolutely working this ministry. You hear what I say? We visiting the sick. We are, officiating weddings. Our community is live and in real time, and we have to be present for all the rites and the rituals. And so I went to the hospital to see her, and she said, she appeared to be sedated, but she said, "Is that the Pink Robe pastor?" I say, "Yes, ma'am, Miss Bimbo, it's me." So we want to lift Candace up and her family and the entire family with prayer. She has placed on her website, on her social media timeline, ways that those of you who desire to support Pink Robe Chronicles plans to send an arrangement on behalf of all of us. But if you are so inclined, we invite you to do so and to keep her lifted up in prayer. Thirdly, an announcement for me. Again, thank you to the Reverend Portia Williams Gates, to Reverend Brawley, the pastor of St. Paul Community Baptist Church, and to Reverend Dr. Michael Elam, and to all those for their hospitality that was shown to me on last week. On November 14th through 17th, November 14th through 17th, I invite you to, for those of you who are in the Richmond area, from the DMV all the way down here to North Carolina, and all points northwest, southeast, to come to Virginia Union University, the Samuel DeWitt Proctor School of Theology at Virginia Union University for the Ellison Jones preaching conference. And I get it, another preaching conference. Yeah, I get it. But this one, I have had the opportunity of sharing with this community before. This one is not just on some tips for you to preach. Think of it as more of a professional development or getting a unit for preachers. Getting a professional development unit like a CPU unit. Is a CPE? Well, y'all know what I mean. For preachers, where it's not about best practices more than it is about hearing, deepening one's knowledge, one's lens, one's understanding. So there will be lectures and nightly preaching. I am preaching on the last day, I believe, which is that Friday. And I invite you to come and to go ahead and register. Registration for the Samuel DeWitt Proctor Conference is also open. The early bird registration ended on the 30th, but registration is still open. If you are in seminary, I encourage you to register for their seminarian track. And I just saw one of the deans is Alan Bosack, and the dean of the other person just escaped me. I just looked at it last night. I haven't committed the full thing to memory, but I do remember seeing his name. Why is that important? That is because you can get seminary credit. So you would have to, of course, pay to get to the conference unless your seminary funds you. But you can actually take it as an independent study at your institution. Get a professor to be the professor of record, and you can do the pre-work and then take the class while you're there at the conference, and then do the post-work. So it will be like an independent study. I know I said finally, but finally, really now, I want to thank you all for praying with our family. I need your continued prayers. I am absolutely at a loss for words. I don't know if any of you have ever found yourself in that state where you are just at a loss for words, that things are coming at you so quickly, so fast, that you just fall short of having like English words to say. So here is where a prayer language is greatly appreciated. My dad, I haven't talked to him this morning. I talked to him yesterday. He has to have another surgery on tomorrow. My dad in 2021 fell, and when he passed out, and when he passed out, he hit his head so hard that he got a hematoma in his brain, and the hematoma continued to grow, so he had to have it drained. They had to go in his head, in his brain, and drain the hematoma and then fuse together the nerve because it was continuing to bleed. Well, they never actually figured out why he was they never actually figured out he was why he passed out. And this past Labor Day, he was out of town with his spouse, and he passed out again, and had to be hospitalized in Washington, D.C. Shout out to my girl, whose name I will not reveal, who, it is good to know folks who checked in on my dad while he was hospitalized, where he was hospitalized. And I appreciate you so much, sis. Like, really, I do. And so while there, they realized at this hospital out of town that maybe it was possibly his heart. My dad has also suffered 2 heart attacks in the past. And so so he fainted again at the hospital. And what they realized was that when they opened him up, because they were taking him down to just look around, they opened him up and he had 100% blockage on his left side. 100% blockage on his left side. So he was rushed in immediately to get a pacemaker, which was successful. He was discharged, and then he made his way home. He was driven back to our state, our city, and to learn that the hematoma that he got from the second fall started to grow again. So he got a round of steroids, really aggressive, and the hematoma did not shrink, but it grew. So he was sent now into the hospital again for now the third major surgery in a year and a half, the second major surgery in less than 30 days, and the second surgery on his brain. And they went in and drained the hematoma. They did the surgery, drained it and everything. And then in 3 days, he was back in the hospital because he could not move his legs and they didn't know if he was having a stroke. Only to learn that the hematoma started growing again, and this time it was leaking. So he had a procedure on Friday and has to have another procedure on tomorrow, which is Monday. I invite your prayers. I have said a lot. It is a lot. I invite prayers for his spouse, Gail, who is standing closely by, for whom my mom, none of us would be able to really function well without knowing that somebody is there with him. So please pray for her, pray for me, pray for our family. My dad is the patriarch of the Holyfield side of the family. He is the oldest living relative. Yeah, as you can imagine, he is frustrated. He is anxious. He is a lot of things. And so we would appreciate it. And so would he. If you would remember in your meditations and your prayers, Sydney Holyfield, Ashe. Asheo. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for governing yourselves, for just being present here. I tagged this, release it and let it go, because as you can imagine, I've not even had time to sit down and to reflect long enough to write something, to, write a full sermon I have literally just been moving, handling different things that need to be handled, with my dad and with my own life. And so Trisha's book is so timely. So I am going to read a few more pages, but I want to get out this piece of release it and let it go, for us, because again, it is it is timely. So many of you can see. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you. I see your names. I thank you. 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 So as you can, many of you can see, I have cut my hair down even closer. It is even lower. I have not had my hair cut like this probably 10 years ago, as I marked my transition into my 40s. And prior to that, as I marked my transition moving from Washington to D.C., moving from Richmond, Virginia to Washington, D.C. Each time I have gone this low, has been under the direction of feeling extremely compelled to move in a way, where I needed to be, either do a cleansing of myself, of releasing the energy that was held in my head, cleansing my ori, or just acknowledging that it was time to release some things and move forward. A kind of initiation of the self. You will see that, when many go through a rite of passage in various types of communities, that the sign, of that passage usually, right, is an alteration of their appearance, or usually seen in a cutting of hair. Yesterday, I woke up and my spouse and I were on our way somewhere, and I'd been feeling that I was coming to this moment. I'd been feeling I was coming to this point, for a minute. I had a beautiful week. Shout out, I see Dr. Fallon Wilson is on here. Shout out to Dr. Fallon. I had a beautiful week with some of our community's brightest and best minds, brightest and best social innovators and Christian innovators. We were at an invitation only conference sponsored by the Forum for Theological Exploration, and where we did our good work. And soon and very soon you will learn, what we did. I will shout us out and say that my team, which consisted of Fallon Wilson and Nathalie Nelson Parker and Shelley Best, and myself, won a pitch. And we are so excited to do that work and to share with you soon on what our pitch, work was. At any rate, I felt this coming on. And so I woke up on yesterday morning, and as we were driving, I asked my spouse, I said, I need to cut my hair. And I'm appreciative. I'm coming. Y'all know I got to set this up. I'm appreciative for a partner. Auntie Margie is on. I love you, Auntie Margie. Oh my God. Hi, Auntie Margie. You on live. Ah, hey, Mama E.T. Hari, because I know you somewhere close by too. And I said, can you call your barber? I want to get my hair. I need to get my hair cut. And I thank goodness for a partner who's not wrapped up into what I do with my hair, Ashe, and my body, who is not so superficial around presentation, but who understands and respects the guiding and the leading of the Spirit. And so he calls his barber on a Saturday. And now, any of you who are familiar in our community with a barber, with a barbershop, a black barbershop, you know that Saturday mornings is popping. Well, when we called, his barber Mont said, you know what? I don't even have anybody in my chair right now. I looked at my spouse and I said, this is it. It's time. It is time, and it's time, and it's time. So we went, there, and he said, how low do you want it? And at first I said, well, I really just want you to shape it up. And then I said, well, actually, it's time for me to let this blonde go, right? Because my hairstylist, bless his heart, is living his best life, being the, stylist for wigs, hair, and makeup, for a play on Broadway right now. So he's not even here. So I can't even get it maintenance. So I was like, I need to do something. But more than that, I said, so he said, you want me to take it down to low. And I said, yeah. He said, how low you want to go? I said, just take it down to what feels good to you. And so as he was cutting, which I have a video, I'll make into a reel soon, y'all, I started to feel really light. Even when I cut my locks off, I felt this light. Yes, Renee, I felt light. And I just felt like, even I'm feeling now as I'm remembering what that felt like. I felt like there was much in my chest that was just sort of falling off, falling away. And then I was directed to go somewhere else and to start another space of mine to go and start moving things around and to start packing things up. And I had in my mind that I was going to do it. You come on in. I had it in my mind that I was going to do it at another date. And Spirit said, don't wait, because you don't know what that date's gonna bring, right? And so, good morning, Pastor Anika. And so I went and did what I needed to do at this space. And then I came home, and here's where much of the lesson began to play out. I'm super full. So I opened up we had gone grocery shopping. And I had purchased fresh flowers for 4 spaces in the home. We had gone grocery shopping, and the car was full. And there's nothing worse than coming home with groceries and your refrigerator is already full of things that need to be thrown out. Somebody don't hear me right now. You heard what I said. There's nothing worse than opening up your refrigerator and your refrigerator is full, but most of the stuff in there is stuff that needs to be thrown out anyway. So now you got to do double time work, because if you're like me, what you have been doing, and this confession is good for the soul, what you have been doing is you have just been stuffing the new things that you purchased from the grocery store up, over, and in between. Come on, I just want to tell the truth, and I need somebody to know. I need you to be with me. You have been stuffing. What I have done is just stuff what I have recently purchased on top of that which needs to be thrown away. And what ultimately happens is that it never fails. It never fails free. That what happens is that something spills in the refrigerator. Something spills and I can't see it. And why can't I see it? Because I have stuffed it to the max. I don't know what's good and I don't know what's bad. And then before you know it, all of these kinds of stains are on the refrigerator. I don't know where it comes. It's hard. It looks nasty. If you came to my house, you would probably think that I was the nastiest person, that I didn't keep house well. Listen, we can tell a lot, Carmen, by the way folks' refrigerator look on the inside. Baby, we can tell a lot about what's going on. Remember, I talked about this before, that the most problematic area in somebody's refrigerator is that condiment door. That is the most problematic area. Why? Because on that side door are old condiments, Chick-fil-A sauce, ketchup, what's that? Aminos, liquid aminos, crushed pepper that you got from the pizza place, and it fell out, and all the mustard and the ketchup, honey, that was over in 2021. It's still in your side door. You got 3 of the same salad dressings. You done open all 3. You don't know which one is good and which one is not. Baby, listen, I know I'm not the only one. And so I sat there, I opened the refrigerator, and I said, I'm just going to take a few things out so I can make room. And Spirit said, no, you're going to clean this refrigerator. This is about cleansing. You can't cleanse your head and don't cleanse what's inside. Listen. You cannot cleanse, give yourself a cleansing, and that this refrigerator was a metaphor, was analogous to what I was looking like on the inside, even though the breaking of dawn was on the horizon. Even though the outside of the refrigerator is pretty, it has all of our children's, special appointments and their artwork and different magnets and everything. But when you open it up, There were things that have lived in that refrigerator that have long passed their expiration. My God, today. That have long passed their expiration. And so I realized as I kept bending over, bending down, my back started hurting. And Spirit directed me to get a chair, sit down, because you need to take your time and clean this refrigerator. And do y'all know that I kept trying to, like, I'm going to just do a little cleaning and I'm going to come back to it. And each shelf, when I began to take something off of each shelf in the refrigerator, I was like almost nauseous at what it looked like. Oh my God, the stains, the circles from that were on the bottom of the pickle jar. And how come I had 3 jars of pickles? 3 jars of dill pickles. Why? Because the refrigerator has been so stuffed that I don't remember, or because I can't see that I already had what I needed. So every time I go to the store, I end up purchasing something that I don't need because I can't see that I already have it. Y'all don't hear me. Y'all don't hear me. Y'all don't hear me. Y'all don't hear me. Woo! That I already have. So now I got 3 jars of dill pickles. 3 jars. 3 jars of dill pickles. So because something has spilled, now it's just brown, and all of the spillage has gone down through the 3 shelves, down, you know, where you have your crisper drawers, down up under the drawers. Y'all don't hear me today. So now I'm a little frustrated because this is not the deep cleaning I'd planned to do, right? I really wanted to go, and I had this tea that I purchased from this space here to make this tea so that I can sort of cleanse it over my head and go outside. This is what I had. I wanted to clear my office space so that I can just get into it and continue to listen to the Spirit. And the Spirit was like, no, this is it. This is it. So as I go and get a garbage bag, I fill up a garbage bag, y'all, with some of the stuff that's in my refrigerator. I have filled this. I have filled this garbage bag up with food that is already spoiled. The Spirit said, you need to come back to this refrigerator weekly. Really, what Spirit was saying is you need to check in with yourself weekly. You need to cleanse weekly. You need to release and let it go weekly. This is what happens when you hold it. It's toxic up in here. This is what happens. If you eat any of these things that you have thrown out, you would get really, really sick. You would become tragically ill. But is this not what we do in our day-to-day lives? We hold on. We hold on to the disappointment. We hold on to the despair. Maybe it's not even disappointment and despair. Maybe it's a kind of hoarding where we hoard emotions, we hoard things, and in our hoarding, then we become manipulative with them because we only release them when we want to release them. And if we can see that in our release, there is a way in that release that somebody else will feel bad. And it is usually the people that we want to feel bad that we believe has done us wrong. The Spirit said, baby, release it. You don't have any more room in this refrigerator. In your own temple, there are things in your own temple that are far past its expiration date. There are things in this temple that you have got to release. I mean, right now, do not pass go. You got to let it go. Whoo, my God, today. Hey, Jesus, you got to let it go. So as I sat there, now I'm starting to get frustrated at my family. I'm just testifying. This is our meditation for this month. I'm just testifying. Auntie Margie, I'm getting upset with the family because Ain't no other Negroes in this kitchen cleaning this refrigerator but me. And why does cleaning the refrigerator always have to rest on me? Everybody else see that this refrigerator is just as nasty as I do. And I'm the only one up here. So now I'm in my gender roles. Like, who said this is my role to do this? What is happening? So now I'm just talking out loud. And my family knows when I start talking loud, like she on one right here. Just everybody be quiet. So now I'm on one, Renee. I am on one. You know what I'm saying, all kinds of things out my mouth, out loud. But really, that's my frustration. It's displaced aggression. Many of us experience displaced aggression. That is when we really have aggression toward a thing, a person, or a place. But we don't give that aggression toward a thing, a person, or a place. We give it toward another thing, a person, and or a place who has nothing to do or who was not the initiator of your aggression in the first place, right? So there was this displaced aggression. Y'all get, let me see if y'all, okay, y'all, we here. All right, we're together. We're together. And so that there is this displaced aggression, and that I was holding on, that I was expressing. And then there was this one container. So before I'd gone out of town, I made a batch of chicken and noodles. And it looked good. And when I opened up the container, I smelled, I was like, oh, this is probably still doable. Because it doesn't smell bad, it looks good. And Spirit said, why do you do that? Why do you constantly try to save things that have already come to an end? What is that? What are you doing? Girl, that soup is 2 weeks old, just about. You cannot eat that. You cannot ingest that. Let it go, boo. Pour it out. And part of me was like, I cannot be pouring this out. Like my grandmother said, we don't waste food. Listen, boo. Pour it out. So I wanted to get up and pour it down the sink, and Spirit said, so now you're going to create a problem with your plumbing because you want to pour this chunky ass soup down the sink. No, just pour it in the bag with all of the other trash. What am I trying to say, friends? Y'all remember when Badu came out? Bag lady, you gon' miss your bus. You can't hurry up, cause you got too much stuff. Yeah, y'all remember when they see you coming, keep on, take off running? Cause you got issues. Y'all remember that? Bag lady, you gon' hurt your back. Y'all remember that? So, pack light. Ooh, ooh, yeah. I need us to unpack in the last quarter of this year. I need us to unpack what we've been holding so that we can move on and move beyond. What hurt us has the ability to heal us. What hurt us does have the possibility to heal us. Not because the hurt was sent by God, not because God uses hurt things to show us a lesson and somehow, but because it calls us into a space to do some inner work. It invites us to reflect. It invites us to consider. It invites us possibly to be introduced or reintroduced. Allow me to reintroduce myself, to reintroduce ourselves to parts of ourselves that have been covered up by all of the things that we have stashed internally, and not knowing, and not knowing what's already there. So I want to invite us on this morning to release it. Yes, Pastor Brown. I want to invite us to release. Melva, how? Can I invite you in? Come on, Nat Bishop. Come on, Nat Bishop. One of the ways that we can begin to release is to rest. One of the ways I released was to literally clean out my refrigerator. So to Dr. Monica's point, everybody should be going to clean out the refrigerator today and get this lesson. Or maybe it's your closet. Or maybe it's cleaning your bathroom. Or maybe it's organizing something that is a mess. Maybe it is a project that has been undone too long. Whatever it is, turn your attention to that. And the second thing is around this rest. And so I'm priming us now. I'm priming us for this work. For those of you who will get this text, rest is resistance, Ashe. So I've read for us the first page because we can overpack or carry too much because we're not rested enough to be able to hear spirit, to be able to see what's next, to be able to see right what's in front of us. Ashe. So I'm going to read the second half of this page that I started, and then we're going to head to the clearing. Ashe. Ashe. I was fueled by the deep history of cultural trauma. Natasha, did you tag Trisha? Thank you. I was fueled by the deep history of cultural trauma. I was studying while in seminary. I was reading slave narratives while studying Jim Crow terrorism and falling asleep with the book on my chest. I was guided by Harriet Tubman proclaiming after waking up from a prophetic dream, "My people are free." The audacity to proclaim freedom via rest in the now. Rest has been revolutionary for my soul. This book is a testimony and testament of my refusal to donate my body to a system that still owes a debt to my ancestors for the theft of their labor and dream space. My God, Trisha. Sheesh. Let me run that sentence back again. This book is a testimony and testament of my refusal to donate my body to a system that still owes a debt to my ancestors for the theft of their labor and dream space. I refuse to push my body to the brink of exhaustion and destruction. Let the chips fall where they may. I trust myself more than capitalism. Our refusal will make space for abundance. We will have to leap and trust rest. May the ground underneath hold us, and if we must collapse, may a soft pillow be there. This book is a scream on a bullhorn for the collective to join me in disrupting and pushing back. The Nap Ministry is a warm blanket swaddling us all back to our deepest selves, a more human place, a resting place. It is never easy to explain why I started the Nap Ministry. It is also layered, nuanced, and organic. I have been asked the question of its origin thousands of times by strangers, journalists, and social media followers. Everyone is thirsty for the quick details of why I would dream up a project about napping. I am elated the story has not been an easy and direct answer because, like decolonizing, it will take Earl Fisher, like decolonizing. Hey, Dr. Irene. Like decolonizing, it will take enormous effort in the form of radical healing. That's what we talked about today. Change, redemption, and collective care. Everything always starts with the personal. The personal is political. The origins of the Nap Ministry begin with the story of my family in fragmented parts. The micro histories and small details of our lives hold the keys to our redemption. Shit. Hold on. Hold on. Did y'all hear what the Nat Bishop just wrote? Did y'all wait. Hold on. Wait, I got so caught up. I lost my place. Wait. Here it is. Y'all ready? The micro histories and small details of our lives hold the keys to our redemption. Not an external, mysterious being. Whew, I can't go there. My resurrection begins with my desperation to find relief from my own exhaustion via curiosity, experimentation, and self preservation. I come from a legacy of exhaustion. My maternal grandmother, Aura, the muse of this work, a refugee from Jim Crow terrorism, rested her eyes every day for 30 minutes to an hour in an attempt to connect and find peace. My great grandmother, Rhodey, I am told, stayed up late nightly on her farm in deep Mississippi with a pistol in her apron pocket to creatively solve any problems from the Ku Klux Klan. The reality of our survival from white supremacy and capitalism is deeply shocking to me. I am in awe at what our bodies can hold. We must lighten our loads. Release it and let it go. We must lighten our loads. Survival is not the end goal for liberation. We must thrive. We must rest. As a child, I would watch my grandmother Aura as she sat on her plastic covered yellow couch and meditated for 30 minutes every single day. She fled her home in Mississippi with thousands of other African Americans during the Great Migration of the 1950s. Aura floated up north on a spaceship built from Earth. Trisha, you better write, sis. Write. Woo! Aura floated up north on a spaceship built from uncertainty and hope as she landed in Chicago. She magically raised 8 children while dodging poverty, racism, and the invisibility of being a Black woman in America. Her commitment to resting her eyes every day for 30 minutes was radical. Her ability to demand space to just be was a form of resistance. While my grandmother rested her eyes, I would tiptoe around her home, trying not to wake her up. I always thought she was sleeping while sitting up. I was curious about her rest practice and thought she was so eccentric. Whenever I would inquire if she was sleeping, her response was always the same. Every shut eye ain't sleep. I am resting my eyes and listening for what God wants to tell me. While all the world around her was attempting to crush her spirit, she rested and resisted the beast of grind culture. She taught my mother to rest. She taught me to rest. And I am humbled to be a vessel to guide thousands on their own rest journey as we embrace rest as a way to make us all more human. My inspiration to rest is deep and expansive. I am inspired by invention and the opportunity to craft something new from scratch. I'm inspired by remixing and being subversive. I'm inspired by disruption and tenderness. I am inspired by imagination. I am inspired by grief, mourning, and lament. I believe deeply in vulnerable, generative spaces for healing. I am inspired by rest, daydreaming, and sleep. Our collective rest will not be easy. All of culture is collaborating for us not to rest. I understand this deeply. We are sleep deprived because the systems view us as machines, but bodies are not machines. Our bodies are a site of liberation, and we are divine, and our rest is divine. There is synergy, interconnectedness, and deep communal healing within our rest movement. I believe rest, sleep, naps, daydreaming, and slowing down can help us all wake up to see the truth of ourselves. Rest is a healing portal to our deepest selves. Rest is care. Rest is radical. We must stand and lay firmly in the space of creating a life filled with rest and radical care, even amid oppression. Rest is resistance is our tagline and our mantra. Our call. Rest is a form of resistance because it disrupts and pushes back against capitalism and white supremacy. Both these toxic systems refuse to see the inherent divinity in human beings and have used bodies as a tool of production, evil, and destruction for centuries. Grind culture has made us all, and I'm going to add black excellence, but grind culture has made us all human machines, willing and ready to donate our lives to a capitalist system that thrives by placing profits over people. The Rest is Resistance movement is a connection and a path back to our true nature. We are stripped down to who we really were before the terror of capitalism and white supremacy. We are enough. We are divine. If we are not resting, we will not make it. I need us to make it. We must thrive. I know our collective rest will liberate us and shift consciousness. A rest movement, a spiritual movement, a political movement rooted in care and justice. The deprogramming from our brainwashing will take intention and time. Rest is a meticulous love practice, and we will be unraveling from our sleep deprivation and socialization around rest for the remainder of our days. This is a blessing. Rest is radical because it disrupts the lie that we are not doing enough. It shout, no, that's a lie. I am enough. I am worthy now and always because I am here. The Rest is Resistance movement is a connection and a path back to our true nature. We are stripped down to who we really were before the terror of capitalism and white supremacy. We are enough. We are divine. Our bodies don't belong to these toxic systems. We know better. Our spirit knows better. The legacy of exhaustion stops with me. I invite you into the portal rest provides. Capitalism cannot have me. White supremacy cannot have me. Join me in reclaiming our dream space. The time to rest is now. Ashe, 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 ashe. Oh. I have been reading from, come on, Leah Burgess. Come on, Leah Burgess. Yes. Leah Burgess said Black excellence is sharecropping. Come through here. My. Woo, that's an image. That's an image. That's an image. I love it. This is Rest is Resistance by Trisha Hersey. I invite you to get this book as we will be moving through it for the next weeks. And Trisha Hersey will be with us on Sunday, October 16th. At our usual time. Please go ahead and get the book now. Please, she says here that she hopes that we are reading the book while we are resting, while laying down. So again, I invite you to get that book. I want to then prepare for us as we get ready to go over to the clearing. I want to thank you in advance. Thank you, those who have been on with us today. We appreciate it. Some elevated numbers, so we appreciate. Welcome to all of you who have caught us live. And for if this is your first time, we welcome you into this space. We are heading on over to our even more sacred space now, our clearing space. Which is a clearing. Ashe. That's what I'm gonna say. So we welcome you over to that space in a few seconds. But as I prepare the space for us, I'm trying to prepare the space. Friends, Lord, me and my computer. I'll tell you, I'll tell you. There we go. 1 second. Maybe we're going today. Let's see. Hold on. As I prepare the space, I want to thank you in advance for those of you. Oh, Lord. I don't know. I'm going to try again. Um, Hold on, y'all. 1 second. Lord, Lord, Lord. This is from last week when I had all of those. Hold on, friends. Give me a second. Give me a second. Don't leave me. I gotta, Lord. Hold on. Stay right with me. I have to do all of this verification, two-step verification. So as that is connecting and Ashe, all right, we are connecting. Hold on. Getting our space ready. Yes, yes, yes. Hold on, friends, so that I can get what we need. It's something I want to say to us. I'm good. I got it up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. 1 second, y'all. I'm getting us together. Okay. So I want to share with you all. One second. Okay. So I want to say thank you. A good a colleague and sister in ministry was in town yesterday, and she came by and hung out with my spouse and I for a little bit, and this is what she said, and I want to share it because it's true. This is what she said. She said, just in thinking about rest, she said, Doc, you know, people would think because your gathering is you don't have a church building, so you don't require, weekly tithe or an offering. And but here you are, you showing up every week, and you spend a minimum of 2 hours on the internet, really three, one, on your live, and 2 hours in the clearing, walking and guiding and being present with folk. And there's something to be said for that level of access, for that way of being. And then what you do on behalf of the community, you are actually doing ministry. You are doing the work to which I had to acknowledge. And so I'm saying thank you to those of you who find it not robbery, who sow into my life, into Pink Robe Chronicles, into my livelihood, because you are appreciative, and you acknowledge this spiritual labor and this work that we do as a community, but mainly that I do as one called to gather this community. So I'm saying thank you. Thank you. And I'm also saying, so, I've been kind of getting you ready now. I'm also saying that, as the Bible says, in just a little while, we are going to be switching over to a subscription community. So I'm wanting you to get ready. This is me inviting you to get ready um, because because I don't really like feel even compelled to justify why, because when we go to other spaces and other places, we never have to justify why we are patronizing Starbucks, or why we're patronizing Target, or why you patronize, the spiritual spaces that you already patronize or that you give to and you tithe to. And you might say, well, because that's my church, that's my community. And I would say, and so is this, right? If this is a space where you come weekly, if this is a space where you are often sharing with others, if this is a space where you have been reflective, and this is not about, hear what I'm saying, hear what I'm saying, because I know that we have experienced church hurt and trauma. I know I certainly have, around things like giving, that has created. Some of us have been made to feel less than because we've not had to give, or some of us have given our last and have not received reciprocity. I'm not suggesting any of those things. I'm suggesting yes to Margaret's point, that it takes currency to keep moving, to keep being, right? To keep showing up. And no one goes to work unless you are volunteering, right? Without that space. And so I'm just letting you know what's coming, and I still want you to be present. I still want you to be a part of, and it will be in a space, in a way, in my hope that there is something for everyone, that each person can find a level at their comfort, his, her, their comfort, to be able to share, so that I can engage in what? More rest. Ashe, more rest, but part of is what Trisha is saying is that many of us are really knee deep in grind culture, because we understand that when you don't eat, when you don't work, you don't eat, right? But what would it look like for us to really begin to redirect how we share our funds and share them with one another, so that folks can understand that all of their needs will be met? Can you imagine what it would mean if communities show up, if we would really engage in collective work and responsibility and cooperative economics, where we are present enough, where folks could actually live into the fullness of who they are, or their authenticity, or start these spaces that the Spirit has placed on their hearts, if they knew that when they found themselves possibly in a bind, that there would be a community to raise up with them. I'm a witness that this community and others have done that for me, Ashe. I am a witness of it, and I know it, and that's what it is. So again, I'm back to, for those of you, for those of us who are doing this kind of work, just as we ended on last week, I'm just again saying, do not listen. It is okay. In order for you to rest, you need to be valued and to believe that you are cared for. So it is okay, Dr. Tawana, for you to do what needs to be done, for you to place whatever giving needs to be placed, so that people can continue to sow into. Like, that is also a kind of rest and a kind of resistance, to go against, right? To go against, and to not be fearful, to not be questioning, to not be bullied into, pouring out of yourself to the point of exhaustion in the name of liberation. This is the exact thing that the Nat Bishop is speaking against, Ashe. This is the exact thing that the Nat Bishop is speaking against, Ashe. This is not it. This is not it. This is not it. And so I'm going to follow suit. So I see that Natasha has already been a blessing. I invite those of you who give, who desire to give. Good morning, Bishop. Thank you for the text you're just sending me. I appreciate you. I invite you to give to Pink Robe Chronicles as you are able, right? This is always only as you are able. If you're not in a position, this is not for you. Not this community is not for you. Then I'm not talking to you, Ashe, right? That's not, no, I'm not. So don't feel that way. Natasha already put up my Zelle information and my Venmo, and we just want to thank you in advance. So friends, don't forget, go ahead and get your book, Rest is Resistance. Order it. It becomes available, I'm told, on October 11th. Shout out to the publishers and to Trisha for providing me with this preview early copy so that our community can get into it. And that's another thing, y'all. We better know that our community loves us. Ashe, our community loves us. Our community, from all of the authors that we read, it was, Shanika Walker Barnes, Monica Coleman, Velma Love. We read Talking Back. We did Listening for God. No, I'm probably forgetting. So, we did This Here Flesh. These authors made themselves available to us. Both Candace and Trisha were like, we want to share with the Pink Robe Chronicles community. I need y'all to know, community, that people know y'all. People know us. They know us, and they want to, have us participate in the breaking in of sharing their knowledge with their sharing with the world. That's important. We have capital, not in the sense of capitalism. We have value. We have value. We're not just some little internet group around here. We are absolutely a community that has value, that has say, and I want us to know that. Ashe, ashe, ashe. So again, I have placed the clearing link here and on YouTube. I'm going to end now. Head over to the clearing. God bless you. See you next week. God